Hello,
Hello,
everybody, and
everybody, and welcome to the
welcome to
Hex
the
Boys
Hex Pod Boys
podcast,
cast.
the Hex Boys cast.
I'm your hexiest pod boy.
I'm your second Hexiest pod boy, and today we're going to be talking about a little-known animation called Big
I've
Top
been,
Burger.
yeah, we've been talking about BigTopBurger 24/7, 365 for.
24/7, 365 since I released the prior episode called
Tell me
Big
about it.
Top
Tell me about
Burger.
BigTopBurger.
This was actually in lead up to this episode. We had released an episode telling people to go watch Big Top Burger because this episode is going to contain major spoilers for Big Top Burger. If you haven't watched it yet, means you're not watching our podcast. Go back, watch our podcast, then go watch Big Top Burger, then continue on with this episode. I know it's a lot, but you got this, okay, sweetie? All right. Now, I'm going to
They're
be talking
pod
about
people.
what? What
They're
did you just
aliens.
say?
They're motherfucking demons.
Okay, calm down. We're not into that part yet. Okay. So, today we're going to be talking about Cesare.
Cesare.
Mainly that I think Cesare is a poser. I think he's a poser.
Think he's a poser?
I think he's like a fraud and shit. I think he's a charlatan, a little man of little stature.
You
And
think
I'm
that?
gonna go through all the points, and you can make the thumbnail whatever you want. But like, yeah. So Cesare
What do
is
you know about Cesare?
what do we know about Cesare? Okay, he's been working for 1,000 years, right? 1,000 years ago, he died and was resurrected. I assume since
Yeah.
he has all his flesh, around a couple days after he died, maybe couple weeks, bodies start to bloat, they start to decay
Do you
very
know where
quickly.
Cesare comes from, by the way?
Yes.
Where?
Because I'm getting to that. Just hold up while I introduce Cesare. He's a dead body who was resurrected 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, in the start of the song that describes Cesare, Friends in Low Places, it says, "In old Venezia, I made my trade." Venezia being the Italian way of pronouncing Venice, the Italian way of pronouncing Venice.
Yeah.
It's Northern Italian. So, in that, so that means that around
You
1,000,
know what? Do you
maybe
know where
plus or
the?
minus 40 years,
But do you know that all of them are a reference to something? Do you know the reference they're
the
referencing?
reference
I've got deep lore for you.
Cesare is actually based on Cesare the somnambulist from the
Somnambula
1920s
is a
silent film
sleepwalker.
The Cabinet of Dr. Calgary.
Yeah,
Calgary?
Caligari,
And he was either an
Caligari.
assassin or some sort of. He was using the sleepwalker or as an assassin, or he was just an inmate at an asylum at some point. I read that on the wiki page for Cesare the Somnambulist. But right now we're talking about Cesare from Big Top Burger. So he was alive.
You know
Uh,
all of the names of the people in
yes, I know
Zomburger
all the
are
names are
like
references, but
names of
I'm
the
talking about
characters from
Cesare. So why are you bringing up
Caligari.
other people?
You talking about Cesare?
Yeah, I'm talking about Cesare, so why are you bringing up other people into this?
Tell me one thing about Cesare.
Okay, I'll tell you one thing about Cesare. So he was in Old Venezia selling puppets, right? 1,000 years ago, selling puppets. It says marionettes. I believe marionettes is a later term from about the 1500s.
I got friends in low
So
places,
puppets
man.
could have been puppets were much more popular around 1,000 AD, but I believe that Cesare is a charlatan in that he was selling puppets, and in one of the episodes he goes, all they know is puppets and viewpointing. He's making fun of the people who use puppets. His own very people he sold to, he's making fun of them. I think he's
That's fucked
selling
up.
them with no thought of using them himself. I think he's selling bad product. I think he's selling bads and disservices.
Really?
And now, I was looking into the name Cesare as well, and so Cesare being the Italian version of Caesar, it's the Italian translation of Caesar. I believe after he died, he was following the fucking crowd, because when he was alive around 1000 AD, I'm fairly well being able to be corrected on this, but Latin was the main language in the Byzantine Empire, which controlled Venice up until 1080 AD, which is, I don't know, like 40 years, maybe a while after around where he lived. Because, average lifespan was about 40 to 60 years at this point.
Are you aware of Sexipedia?
Yes, that is actually where I am getting my Cesare lore.
Just making sure.
You don't need to talk about that like I'm not already on Sexipedia.
A crowdsourced project attempting to document, categorize, and explain
You're bringing up my Sexipedia that was supposed to be the final
sexy men.
The final thing in the lock to unlock Cesare, and you're bringing it up right at the beginning. Why do you have to always do this? You're fucking with my Sexipedia, dog. All right, but going back, he lived around 1000 AD. 1020, since the original animation was made in 2020, 1,000 years ago would have been 1020 AD. Yeah. And so, plus or minus 40 years, that is still well after Venezia.
His thing was made
Venice.
in 1920, so that's 100 years. So he's just off by a factor of 10, so it's fine.
It's not made in 1920. They would have a completely different speaking pattern if it was made in 1920. Cesare being, I think, his original name was Caesar, and he changed it to Cesare when Venice was, gained independence around 1080 AD. The Republic of Venice gained independence from the Byzantine Empire due to the Byzantine Empire's lacking and the rise of the Republic of Venice. And so I think Caesar, during this time as a zombie, in order to fucking fit in, he changed his name from Caesar to Cesare, as while he was still in Italy, it had changed and the culture had begun to expand. And instead of speaking Latin, they started speaking Venetian and then eventually Tuscan, and then Italian. I read somewhere that Italian is based off the Tuscan language.
Yeah, and the Tuscans are the sand people, and you can't call them that.
No, those are the Tuscan Raiders from Star Wars.
You can't
actually is that. Star Wars canon to the BigTopBurger universe
in Italy.
Is Star Wars canon to Italy?
Can you hear them hammering, chat?
Why are you talking about hammering? We're not talking about hammering here.
But they're hammering. Is that the Five Nights at Freddy's movie?
He's a fraud who was actually named Caesar. I don't think Cesare is his original name. I think his name was actually Caesar, and he changed his name to go with the flow, and now he makes fun of the people he sold puppets to. I think he's a fraud and a man of poor stature. And that is my BigTopBurger. Truly. I think that Cesare Caesar was actually living in the Byzantine Empire before going and being stabbed in Venice.
In Rome?
Not Rome, Venice.
Who'd he get stabbed by?
We don't know.
I know he got stabbed by.
Who'd he get stabbed by? What was it? One of the people he ripped off with his bad puppets?
It was
We'll
Brutus.
Never know. Why would it be Brutus?
Because et tu Brutus.
But Julius Caesar was alive around 100 BC. That's over 2,000 years ago.
Well, but he was a zombie by then.
No, he was a zombie at about 1000 AD, 1,000 years ago, when he started
I'm going to introduce you to a band.
This band has nothing to do with BigTopBurger?
What?
This band has nothing to do with Big Top Burger, I'm
No, it has a
assuming.
lot to do with BigTopBurger.
Is
I'm
this
going to
like,
introduce you to.
is this the Rasputin song? Are you just gonna show me
No,
Rasputin
I'm
by
going to
Boney M?
introduce you to no, I'm going to introduce you to a band, and I hope it will help you with your lore drop.
Lenin was a zombie topic. Your cat is dead. Okay, well, you're not gonna be able to hear this, but I'll just
I'm gonna have a little listen,
have a little
lick see
listen.
do.
I'll listen to this on 2 times speed so I don't waste your time, audience.
You doing good? You doing okay?
I was listening to the song. Are you not like wanting
You
me
doing
to
okay?
listen to the song? You're so wishy-washy. You were like send me a song and
How's the song?
less than a minute later you're like
How's the song?
how is the song? How is the song? I even on 2 times speed I haven't even finished it yet. You got to give me some time, dog. Like you sent a 2 minute video and 30 seconds later you're just like, how is the song? How is the song? That's not how that works, dog. You're so pushy right now. Why is Cesare have a Euclid class on Sexypedia? Why is he Euclid class?
Class Euclid.
Is it because he's uncontainable?
Cesare.
Cesare. Cesare's got the bad food. I think he's a hipster. I think he's just taken on whatever comes towards him without actually
You
thinking
think
about
he's
it.
just you think he's just fanning tropes, divorced and John locked. What is John locked? People
What
like to
is John
interpret
Locke?
him and Steve as bitter exes. He's also paired with Doctor to a lesser extent.
Wait, they kissed? When did that happen? I didn't see that happen in the show.
When John Locke is when two characters are shipped extensively by fans, despite the pairing not necessarily being canon or even present in the original work.
Wait, when did they kiss? I didn't see them kiss.
Oh, when did they kiss?
Why is he divorced? Where did he get divorced? Characters who are canonically or headcanoned as being divorced, so all their fans have a chance of marrying them. So divorced and John Locked are like entirely opposing forces, and he has both of those fanon tropes.
You gotta look fresh.
Out of the morgue!
Morgue.
Alright, so yeah. I think I have made my case on why Cesare is a charlatan, a man of poor stature, and that he sold bad product to people, and that's how he got killed.
Cesare, class Euclid. The SCP Foundation is not that afraid of him.
I'm gonna be honest, yeah. I
He is
think
contained.
he's not contained. He's in Tampa.
What?
He's going to Tampa. He's not contained.
The category of knife murder. Characters who like to kill people usually by stabbing.
He used a hammer.
He did use a hammer, that is true.
He
I
was
think
stabbed. That's not the same as stabbing people.
BigTopBurger.
Like, Steve used a sword on him. It's like the opposite. I'm surprised he didn't get fucking flashbacks from that. That's honestly really like ignorant of Steve on that part.
Yeah.
All right, should we end off this podcast here?
Do
I
you
think
want to
I've
see
made my
the?
point. Oh yeah, sure. Show me the.
Hold on. No, don't open it. Send it. Here you go.
Who's that over on the left?
That's the pod people.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. All right. Sexopedia spoilers. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. Watch you all for thinking. I have been your hexiest pod person, and this is your second hexiest pod person, Tristan. If you would just like to say hey and goodbye, you know. All right. Have a very merry little Christmas and a happy New Year, and we will see you all next time. Bye bye.